June the cat opened his eyes slowly. The light was too bright. This was not home. The walls were white and smooth. The air smelled wrong. He was in a clear box. Next to him, in another box, was his human, Dr. Han. Dr. Han looked tired and scared. His face was pale. His hands pressed against the clear wall between them. "It's okay, June," Dr. Han said. "We are the last ones now." June meowed, but he understood more than a normal cat should. The small device in his head made sure of that. Dr. Han had put it there 3 months ago. It was supposed to be a test, but now it was their only hope. Tall figures moved around the room. They had skin that shone like fish scales. Their eyes were large and black. Their hands had 6 long fingers. They were the Nivik, and they had taken Dr. Han and June from Earth just before the end. One of the Nivik came closer to June's box. This one was smaller than the others. Its scales had a blue glow. It made notes on a screen as it watched June. "The feline specimen appears healthy," the Nivik said. Its voice sounded like water over rocks. "I do not understand why the human insisted on bringing this simple animal." Another Nivik, larger with green-tinted scales, stepped forward. "Humans form attachments to lesser creatures. It is one of their many weaknesses, Ta." "Yes, Jin, but this bond seems different," said Ta, the smaller Nivik. "The human's vital signs improve when he sees the cat, and the cat shows unusual brain activity." June sat very still. The chip in his head was warm. He could feel it working, helping him understand their words. Dr. Han had told him to hide his intelligence, stay safe, watch and learn. Dr. Han coughed in his box. "Please," he said to the Nivik. "June needs water and food. He's just a cat." Jin looked at Dr. Han with cold eyes. "You are the last human, Dr. Han, the last of a species that refused to listen. Earth is gone now. You should worry about yourself, not this animal." Dr. Han's eyes filled with tears. "Earth may be gone, but humanity doesn't have to end with me. Please, just care for my cat." Tai tilted its head. "Interesting. Your concern is for this creature, not yourself." It tapped something on its screen. A small door opened in June's box. A bowl of water and some food appeared. "Thank you," Dr. Han said. June went to the water and drank. The food smelled strange but not bad. As he ate, he watched Dr. Han through the clear wall. His human looked sick, tired, old in a way June had never seen before. "We will continue our studies tomorrow," Jin said, heading for the door. "The human is the priority. The cat is just a curiosity." After the other Nivik left, Ta stayed behind. It watched as June finished eating and moved to the wall closest to Dr. Han. "Remarkable attachment," Ta whispered. It pressed a button, and the wall between June and Dr. Han slid open a few inches, just enough for Dr. Han to reach his hand through. Dr. Han looked surprised, then grateful. He reached for June, his fingers trembling. "I'll be back later," Ta said, then left the room. Dr. Han stroked June's fur. "Listen carefully," he whispered. "The chip in your head. I've activated its full program. It will keep growing, learning. You must survive, June. You're carrying more than just yourself now." June purred and pressed his head against Dr. Han's hand. He didn't fully understand, but he felt the weight of his human's words. Something important was happening, and in his small cat brain, enhanced by technology beyond his understanding, one thought formed clearly: protect Dr. Han. The last human. His human. 3 days passed on the Nivik ship. June watched everything. The chip in his head felt warmer each day. His thoughts were getting clearer. He understood more words. He noticed patterns in how the ship worked. Ta came to study them every day. Unlike the other Nivik, Ta spoke to June directly, not just about him. "Your fur is an interesting color," Ta said, making notes on the screen. Earth had many animals, but humans kept cats close. "I wonder why." Dr. Han sat in his clear box, looking more tired each day. He had dark circles under his eyes. His hands shook when he ate. Cats chose humans, not the other way around, Dr. Han said weakly. Thousands of years ago, we had food. They had skills to catch small pests. We became friends. Ta seemed surprised. Friends? With a lesser species? Dr. Han smiled a little. Not lesser. Different. June understands more than you think. When Tai left, Dr. Han motioned June closer to the small opening between their boxes. Listen carefully, he whispered. I'm getting weaker. The chip in your head is designed to learn. It's connecting to your brain in new ways. Soon you'll understand even more. June mewed softly and pushed his head against Dr. Han's hand. I need to teach you while I can, Dr. Han continued. Watch how they open doors. Watch the screens they use. Remember everything. That night, while Dr. Han slept, June tested the walls of his box. He found a spot where the clear material met the floor. There was a tiny gap. He pushed his paw against it. Nothing happened. He tried again, harder. Still nothing. Then he remembered how Tai would press the screen to make things happen. June looked around his box. In one corner was a small black dot. He walked to it and pressed his paw against it. A small click sounded, and a section of the wall slid open just enough for him to squeeze through. June stepped out into the lab. Everything looked bigger from here. The screens glowed with strange symbols. The air smelled different. He jumped onto a table and looked at a screen. The symbols meant nothing to him, but the chip in his head felt hot. It was trying to learn. Suddenly, the door opened. June froze. Todd walked in, then stopped, seeing June out of his box. Interesting, Todd said quietly. You figured out the emergency release. June prepared to run, but Todd didn't move to catch him. The others would put you back and change the system, Todd said. But I want to see what you'll do. Todd sat at a desk and pretended to work. June carefully walked around the lab, sniffing everything. He jumped up to look at more screens. He watched how the doors worked. You're not just exploring, Ta said after a while. You're studying. The door opened again. Jin entered the lab. June quickly ran back to his box and slipped inside. The wall closed behind him. Why are you here so late? Jin asked Ta. The human's health is declining, Tai answered. I was checking his vital signs. Jin looked at Dr. Han, who was sleeping fitfully. He won't last long. Humans are fragile. Once he's gone, we'll dissect the cat to compare it with our other Earth specimens. After Jin left, Ta looked at June with new interest. June stared back, trying to hide the fear and anger he felt at Jin's words. You understood that, didn't you? Ta whispered. Impossible. But I saw it in your eyes. Ta pressed some buttons on a screen. The opening between June and Dr. Han's boxes widened slightly. June immediately went through to his human side. I shouldn't do this, Ta said. But there's something special about you two. The last examples of Earth's strange bonds. Dr. Han stirred in his sleep as June curled up beside him. The cat's purr seemed to ease the human's troubled dreams. Ta watched them for a long time before leaving the lab. The door closed with a soft hiss, leaving June and Dr. Han alone in the dim light of the ship's night cycle. June didn't sleep. His mind was too busy, too full of new thoughts. His human needed him, and he needed a plan. A week passed. Dr. Han grew worse each day. His face was thin and gray. He ate little of the food the Nivik gave him. When he spoke to June, his voice was soft and weak. The air here, he whispered one night. It's not right for humans. Too much of something my lungs can't handle. June stayed close to Dr. Han whenever Tai left the opening between their boxes. The cat could feel his human's heart beating too fast, then too slow. Wrong. That morning, Jin came with two other Nivik. They looked at Dr. Han through the clear wall. His body is failing faster than expected, Jin said. Move him to the medical lab for testing. We need to collect data before the specimen expires. They took Dr. Han away. June cried out, scratching at the walls of his box. For the first time, he felt truly alone. Hours passed. June paced in his small space. The chip in his head burned hot with worry and fear. Then the lab door opened and Ta entered. "Your human is very sick," Ta said, looking troubled. "Jin wants to study how he dies. They won't help him." June meowed loudly, pawing at the wall. Ta watched June for a long moment. "You really do understand, don't you?" Ta pressed the screen, and June's box opened fully. "Show me. Show me you're more than just an animal." June jumped down and ran to the door. He looked back at Ta, meowing urgently. "You want me to follow you?" Ta seemed shocked. "To the medical lab." June meowed again, pacing back and forth by the door. "This breaks all our rules," Ta said, but the Nivik opened the door anyway. June ran through the ship's corridors, following the scent of his human. Ta hurried behind, watching in amazement as the cat navigated the complex hallways. They'd reached the medical lab, where Dr. Han lay on a table, breathing in short, painful gasps. Jin and the others were gone. "They'd just left him here to die," Ta said, voice filled with a new emotion. "To collect data on his death." Jun jumped onto the table and pressed against Dr. Han's side. The human opened his eyes slightly. "June," he whispered, "how are you here?" Ta moved quickly to the medical equipment. "Your breathing is damaged from our atmosphere. I can help, but it breaks our laws of non-interference." Dr. Han looked at Todd with tired eyes. "Why would you help me?" Tay's scales flickered with blue light. "Because watching you with this cat has changed something in me. You care for each other. It's beautiful." Ta worked quickly, mixing things in a small machine. "This will help your lungs fight the damage." While Ta prepared the medicine, a scanner nearby suddenly beeped. Ta looked at the screen. "What is this?" Ta stared at the image of June's brain, the small chip now clearly visible. "There's technology in your cat's head. Advanced technology." Dr. Han closed his eyes. "June is special, more than a pet. He's the future." Ta gave Dr. Han the medicine through a mask. While the human breathed it in, Ta studied the scan of June's brain. "This chip is connecting to his brain, expanding it. You've made him intelligent." Ta looked at Dr. Han with new understanding. "That's why you insisted on saving him. He's not just a cat. He's your work." "Not just work," Dr. Han said, his voice already stronger from the medicine. "Family. The last of my family. The last one who will remember Earth." June purred loudly, feeling relief as his human's breathing eased. The cat looked at Ta, seeing the Nivik differently now. "Jin cannot know about this," Ta said, turning off the scanner. "If he discovers what June really is, he will take him apart to study the technology." "Will you tell him?" Dr. Han asked. Tay's scales rippled with colors. "No. I want to understand this bond between you. I want to understand why it makes me feel something my people don't usually feel." "Compassion," Dr. Han said. "You're feeling compassion." Ta helped Dr. Han sit up. "We must return you both to the lab before Jin comes back. But I will continue your treatment secretly." As Tai carried Dr. Han back to the lab, with June following closely, a new connection had formed between the three of them, an unexpected bond across species that would change everything. 2 days passed. Dr. Han was back in his clear box, but Ta had made changes. The air flowing into the box was cleaner now. Dr. Han could breathe better. His color had improved. Jin noticed the change during the morning check. The human seemed stronger. Interesting. Their kind is more resilient than we thought. Ta nodded, keeping face scales neutral. Yes, he has stabilized on his own. After Jin left, Tai opened the connection between the two boxes. June immediately went to Dr. Han's side. "We don't have much time," Ta said quietly. "Jin is planning to move you both to the main research center in 3 days. Dr. Han stroked Jun's fur. What happens there? More tests, deeper studies. Taz's scales dimmed. They will discover Jun's chip. They will take him apart. Dr. Han's hand tightened in Jun's fur. We need to talk more easily. Do you have something like a translator? Tai thought for a moment, then pulled a small device from a pocket. This is a basic language tool. It might help. Dr. Han took the device and worked on it while Tai kept watch. Hours later, when Tai returned, Dr. Han had changed the device. Put this where Jun can reach it, Dr. Han said. Tai placed the small device on the floor. Jun walked to it and pressed his paw on top. The device lit up with a soft glow. Hello, Tai, said a mechanical voice from the device. This is Jun. Tai's scales flashed bright blue in surprise. The cat is speaking. Not exactly, Dr. Han explained. The chip in his head connects to this device. It translates his thoughts into simple words. Jun pressed the device again. Need help? Save Dr. Han. Ta looked around nervously. This is against every rule. Using our technology this way could get me exiled. Your people destroyed my world, Dr. Han said. His voice was sad, but not angry. You owe humanity something. We did not destroy your world, Ta said, confused. Earth was dying from human damage. We came to collect and preserve species before they all vanished. Dr. Han shook his head. Is that what they told you? Jun pressed the device. Need ship computer. Show truth. Ta hesitated, then nodded. I can bring a data tablet, but we must be careful. Jin watches everything. That night, when the ship was quiet, Tig returned with a thin screen. The Nivik plugged it into a port in the wall and showed Dr. Han how to use it. This has limited access to ship records, Tai explained. Nothing that would risk security. Dr. Han worked quickly, his fingers moving across the screen. Jun sat beside him, watching everything. The chip in the cat's head was learning, storing information. Look, Dr. Han finally said, turning the screen to Ta. Your ship arrived at Earth 6 months before the final collapse. This data shows energy weapons were fired from orbit. Tai's scales went pale. No, that cannot be right. The Nivik caused the earthquakes, the storms, the magnetic shifts. Dr. Han's voice was flat. Your people didn't come to save Earth's species. You came to remove humans. I didn't know, Ta whispered. We were told humans had destroyed their own world. Jun pressed his paw on the translation device. Need plan. Not much time. Dr. Han nodded. The chip in Jun's head. It can store more than thoughts. It can store memories. Knowledge. He looked at Ta with serious eyes. I'm dying, Ta. The medicine helps, but it's too late for me. But Jun can carry on. What are you suggesting? Ta asked. I need access to better equipment. I can transfer more of myself, my memories, my knowledge, into Jun's chip. He can carry what's left of humanity. Tai was quiet for a long time. Then the Nivik stood up straight. I will help you. Not just for you, but for my own conscience. If what you showed me is true, I must make this right. As Tai left with the tablet, Dr. Han hugged Jun close. We have an ally now, he whispered. And soon, you'll be more than just my pet. You'll be humanity's protector. Jun purred, not fully understanding, but feeling the importance of this moment. Something big was coming. Something that would change everything. The next day, Ta came early to the lab. The Nivik carried a small silver case. After checking that no one was watching, Ta quickly entered and locked the door. I brought what you asked for, Ta said, opening the case. Inside was a set of small tools and a thin headband with wires. Dr. Han picked up the headband with shaking hands. Perfect. This neural reader will work. He looked at Ta. Thank you. Tai's scales flickered with worry. Jin has moved up the schedule. You will be taken to the research center tomorrow, not in 3 days. Dr. Han's face went pale. Then we must work quickly. June sat quietly as Dr. Han explained the plan. The cat would need to wear a special device that connected to his chip. Dr. Han would wear the headband. The two devices would link, allowing Dr. Han to copy his memories into June's chip. "Is it safe?" Tai asked. Dr. Han gave a weak smile. "For who?" "For me, it doesn't matter. I'm dying anyway." "For June." He stroked the cat's head. "The chip was designed for this, but it has never been tested fully." June pressed his paw on the translator device. "We'll do it. Not afraid." Ta helped set up the equipment. It took hours to connect everything properly. Dr. Han worked carefully, checking each connection twice. "We need time alone," Dr. Han finally said to Ta. "If someone catches you here during the transfer, you'll be punished." Ta nodded. "I will lock the door and return in 3 hours. That's when my shift officially starts." After Tai left, Dr. Han put the small device on June's head, connecting it to the chip. Then he put the headband on his own head. "This will feel strange, June," he said softly. "Your mind will have my memories, my knowledge, but you'll still be you. Still be my cat." June purred, rubbing against Dr. Han's arm. "Ready?" Dr. Han asked. June pressed the translator. "Ready." Dr. Han pressed a button on the headband. Immediately, both he and June went very still. The lights on the devices blinked rapidly. Images flooded into June's mind. A house with a garden. A woman laughing. Tall buildings reaching to the sky. Books filled with words. The feeling of rain. The taste of coffee. The sound of music. Dr. Han's life flowed into June's chip. Years of study. Learning about science. The day he first got June as a kitten. The slowly dying Earth. The fear as the Nivik ships appeared. The plan to save at least one piece of humanity. Hours passed. Dr. Han's breathing grew more labored. Sweat covered his face, but he didn't stop the transfer. Finally, the lights on the devices stopped blinking. Dr. Han slumped forward, exhausted. June shook his head, feeling strangely heavy with new thoughts and memories. "Did it work?" Dr. Han whispered, his voice barely audible. June looked at his human. For the first time, he truly understood who Dr. Han was. He knew his human's full name, his birthday, his favorite food. He knew how to read, how to calculate, how to plan. He knew Earth's history, its art, its science. June pressed the translator. "Yes. Remember everything. Remember Earth. Remember you." Dr. Han smiled and closed his eyes. "Good. That's good." Suddenly, an alarm started blaring. Red lights flashed in the lab. Dr. Han tried to sit up but was too weak. "Something's wrong," he said. "They must have detected the power usage." The lab door slid open. Jin stood there with 2 guards. "What is happening here?" Jin demanded, seeing the devices connected to Dr. Han and June. Before anyone could answer, Dr. Han gasped and clutched his chest. He fell back onto the floor of his box, his face twisted in pain. "The human is dying," one guard said. Jin stepped forward. "And what is that on the animal's head?" June backed away, hissing. In his mind, new thoughts formed. Escape plans. Defense strategies. Ways to protect the knowledge he now carried. As Dr. Han's breathing grew weaker, June knew one thing clearly. He was no longer just a cat. He was the last piece of humanity, and he needed to survive. "What have you done?" Jin demanded, moving quickly to Dr. Han's side. The human lay still, barely breathing. Tay rushed into the room behind Jin. "I heard the alarm. What's happening?" Jin pointed at the devices connected to Dr. Han and June. "This researcher has been tampering with the specimens, using our equipment for unauthorized experiments." June backed into a corner, the small device still attached to his head. His mind raced with new thoughts, new knowledge. He understood the danger now. "The human is dying," Jin said, checking Dr. Han's pulse. And this animal has been modified somehow. Tai tried to look surprised. Modified? How? I don't know yet. Jin stood up and pointed at June. Take that animal to the testing lab. I want to see what's in its brain. One guard moved toward June. The cat hissed, fur standing on end. In his mind, Dr. Han's voice seemed to speak. Asterisk run. Hide. Survive. Asterisk. As the guard reached for him, June leaped. Not at the guard, but at the wall panel beside him. With perfect aim, his paw hit the emergency release button Dr. Han had shown him in his memories. All the lights in the lab went off. Emergency lighting came on, bathing everything in a dim red glow. What's happening? Jin shouted. June used the confusion to dart between the guard's legs and out the open door. The cat is escaping, Jin yelled. Catch it. Tom moved quickly, pretending to chase June, but actually blocking the other guard. Sorry, it's too fast. June ran down the hallway, Dr. Han's memories guiding him. Left turn, right turn. The ship's layout was now clear in his mind. He needed to reach the lower levels where the ship's systems were less monitored. Behind him, alarms blared. Nivik voices called out. Heavy footsteps followed. June found a small air vent, just big enough for a cat. He squeezed inside and crawled through the dark passage. The memories told him where to go. Meanwhile, in the lab, Dr. Han opened his eyes weakly. Ta, he whispered. Ta moved closer while Jin was distracted giving orders to the guards. Help him, Dr. Han said, his voice barely audible. June carries everything now. Everything that's left of Earth. I will, Ta promised. Dr. Han's eyes closed again. His breathing slowed. Jin returned to them. The cat will be found. This ship has no place for a small animal to hide forever. He looked at Dr. Han. What did he do to it? I don't know, Ta lied. But the human needs medical attention. Too late, Jin said coldly. The specimen is beyond saving. His data will be preserved. As Jin spoke, Dr. Han took one final breath. Then he was still. The last human was gone. Begin the autopsy procedures, Jin ordered a guard. Then he turned to Ta. You were assigned to watch them. You failed. Find that animal or face punishment. Ta nodded, scales flat with fake shame. Yes, Jin. Deep in the ship's lower levels, Jun found a small space between two large machines. He curled up there, removing the device from his head. His mind felt strange, full of thoughts that weren't originally his. He knew what death was now, truly understood it. Dr. Han was gone. Tears would not come. Cats couldn't cry, but something inside him ached with grief. Jun also understood his purpose. The chip in his head held more than just Dr. Han's memories. It held human history, science, art, and culture. Everything Dr. Han could pack into it in those final hours. Asterisk, I am the last piece of humanity now. Asterisk, Jun thought. The idea felt too big for his cat brain, but the chip helped him grasp it. A sound caught his attention. Footsteps, light and careful. Jun? Ta's voice called softly. Are you here? I want to help. Jun stayed hidden, uncertain. Dr. Han's memories told him to trust Tai, but caution was needed. Jin is searching the upper levels, Tai continued. I told him you likely went up, not down. We don't have much time. Slowly, Jun emerged from his hiding place. We need to get you off this ship, Ta said, before Jin discovers what you really are. Tai led Jun through narrow maintenance tunnels. They moved quietly, stopping often to listen for guards. We need to reach the archive section, Ta whispered. It's rarely used. We can hide there while I figure out how to get you off this ship. Jun followed, his mind still adjusting to the flood of human memories. He now understood so much more about the Nivik ship, about space travel, about everything. It was overwhelming, yet the chip helped organize these thoughts. They reached a small door. Todd pressed a code into the panel, and it opened. Inside was a large room filled with glowing data storage units. The ship's archives, Tai explained. All the information collected by NIVC research teams. No one comes here except to add new data. June explored the room while Tai secured the door. The cat jumped onto a console, careful not to press any buttons. His eyes scanned the alien symbols, which now made sense to him thanks to Dr. Han's knowledge. "We should be safe here for a while," Ta said. "Jin is still searching the upper levels." June pressed his paw to the translator device that Ta had grabbed during their escape. "Need to learn more. About Nivik. About Earth." Ta nodded. "I can access the archives for you." The Nivik activated a large screen and began searching through files. June sat next to Ta, watching carefully. "Here," Ta said after a few minutes. "These are the records about Earth." The screen filled with images of the blue planet. June felt a strange sadness seeing it. These were not his original memories, but Dr. Han's emotions were part of him now. "Look at the mission logs," June instructed through the translator. Tai opened more files. Text scrolled across the screen. "This can't be right," Ta said, scales turning pale. "According to this, the Nivik Council ordered Earth's destruction 3 years ago." June read the text, understanding it perfectly now. "Why?" Ta continued reading, voice growing quieter. "It says humans were deemed too unpredictable and potentially dangerous to galactic stability." Tai's voice shook. "The Council decided humans might eventually threaten other species if allowed to develop space travel." June felt anger rise in him. Not cat anger, but human anger. Dr. Han's anger. "Keep reading," he directed through the translator. Tai opened more files. The Nivik ships were sent to collect samples of Earth life before using weapons to destabilize the planet's core. Ta looked at June with horrified eyes. "They made it look like natural disasters. They killed billions just because of what humans might do someday." June sat very still, absorbing this terrible truth. Through Dr. Han's memories, he could see Earth as it once was. Beautiful, flawed, but home. "There's more," Ta said, opening another file. Lists of other planets, other species being studied. The screen showed images of different worlds, different beings. Notes beside each one rated their threat potential. "They're planning to do it again," Ta whispered, "to other worlds that might someday compete with Nivik power." June's tail lashed back and forth. "When?" Ta checked the data. "The next assessment is for a planet called Terix. Their technology is advancing quickly." Ta looked sick. "The assessment team leaves in 20 days. June jumped down from the console and paced the room. His mind, both cat and human parts, worked through possibilities. "We must stop them," he said through the translator. "Save others." "How?" Tai asked. "I'm just one researcher. The Council controls hundreds of ships." June looked up at the vast archive. Information. Truth. Other Nivik must know. Other species too. Tai's scales flickered with fear. "You want to expose this. The punishment would be severe." "Dr. Han died to save knowledge," June said. "His world died. No more worlds should die." Before Tai could respond, a loud bang came from the door. Someone was trying to open it. "Found you." Jin's voice called through the speaker. "Open this door immediately, Ta. Your betrayal is confirmed." Ta looked at June in panic. How did he find us? June's new knowledge provided the answer. Tracker. In translator device. Ta quickly looked at the small translator June had been using. A tiny light blinked on its side. "He's right outside," Ta whispered. "And we have nowhere to run. Open this door now." Jin's voice was angry. The door shook as something heavy hit it. Ta looked around frantically. There must be another way out. June's mind, now filled with Dr. Han's knowledge, worked quickly. He scanned the room, seeing it with new understanding. "The vents," he said through the translator. "Too small for Nivik, big enough for cat." But what about me? Tai asked. I can't fit through there. Jun jumped onto the main console. Need to send message first. To all ships, all planets. Tai understood. A broadcast about what the Nivik did to Earth and planned to do to others. Yes. Jun's paw touched the screen. Can you access communication system? The banging on the door grew louder. Metal was beginning to bend. Ta moved quickly to the console. I can try to connect the archive system to the ship's broadcast array, but Jin will break through before we finish. Jun thought for a moment. Dr. Han's memories showed him something. Lockdown protocol. Emergency quarantine. Tay's scales brightened. Yes, that would seal all doors, even against override commands. The Nivk worked rapidly, fingers flying over the controls. But what reason would justify a lockdown? Dangerous Earth specimen escaped, Jones suggested through the translator. Contamination risk. Ta nodded and entered commands. Suddenly, red lights flashed. A loud alarm sounded. Attention all crew, said an automated voice. Emergency containment protocol activated. Biological hazard detected. All sections sealed until further notice. The banging on the door stopped. They heard Jin shouting orders to his guards. That won't hold him long, Ta said. He'll get emergency clearance. We have maybe 10 minutes. They worked together quickly. Ta connected the archive to the communication system, while Jun selected the files that showed the truth about Earth and the plans for other worlds. Ready, Ta said. But this will go to all Nivik ships and bases, and to any other species with compatible receivers. The Council will know who sent it immediately. Jun looked at Ta. You can still walk away. Say I forced you. Tay's scales rippled with blue light. No, I choose to help. The truth matters more than my safety. Jun pressed the button to start the broadcast. Screens around the room lit up, showing the data being sent across space. It's working, Ta said. The evidence is going out. A new sound came from the door, a hissing noise. Smoke began to seep through the edges. Cutting tools, Ta explained. They'll be through in minutes. Jun moved to the small vent in the wall. I'll go through. Find another way. Go where? Ta asked. The whole ship is looking for you now. Bridge, Jun said. Ship controls. Can you meet me there? Ta looked doubtful. The bridge is heavily guarded. Jin will head there once he realizes what we've done. Trust me, Jun said. Dr. Han's memories were showing him a plan. The door began to glow red from the cutting tools. They were almost through. Go now, Ta said, opening the vent cover. I'll try to slow them down, then meet you near the bridge. Jun hesitated, then pressed his head against Ta's hand briefly. Then he darted into the vent and was gone. Moments later, the door fell open. Jin stepped through with 4 armed guards. Traitor, Jin hissed at Ta. Where is the animal? Ta stood tall. Gone. And so is your secret. Everyone knows the truth now about Earth, about what the Council plans for other worlds. Jin's scales darkened with rage. He stepped toward Ta, weapon raised. It doesn't matter. No one will believe a traitor and a pet. They will when they see the evidence, Tay replied. Look at your screen. Jin's communication device was flashing with incoming messages. Other Nivik were responding to the broadcast already. You've doomed yourself, Jin said, grabbing Tai roughly. And for what? A cat. For justice, Tai answered. For all the worlds that deserve a chance to live. Meanwhile, Jun moved swiftly through the ship's ventilation system. Dr. Han's memories guided him, showing him the way to the bridge. In his mind, a plan was forming. The ship had emergency systems, ways to take control in a crisis, and Jun was no longer just a cat. He was humanity's last protector. And now, protector of other worlds too. Jun reached the area above the bridge. Through a small vent cover, he could see Nivik officers moving quickly below. Their scales flashed with worried colors. The broadcast had caused chaos. All stations reporting in, one officer said. Ships across 3 systems are receiving messages demanding explanation. 2 allied species have already called for investigation. June watched carefully, planning his next move. He needed to reach the main control panel, but the room was full of Nivik. Suddenly, the bridge door opened. Jin entered, dragging Ta. 4 guards followed. Lock down all communications, Jin ordered. Deny everything. Say it was a system error. Too late, Ta said, though Jin held him roughly. The truth is out there now. Jin pushed Ta toward a chair. Where is the animal? Where would it go? Ta shook his head. I don't know. It's just a cat. A cat with human knowledge, Jin hissed. A dangerous combination. From his hiding place, Jun considered his options. Dr. Han's memories showed him the ship's emergency protocols. If he could reach the main console, he might be able to activate one. Below, a communication screen lit up. An older Nivik with gold-tinted scales appeared. Council Elder Su, Jin said, standing straighter. We have a situation. We know, Elder Su interrupted. Every ship in the fleet has received the archives about Earth and our other operations. Allied species are demanding answers. What happened on your ship? Jin pointed at Ta. This researcher betrayed us. Helped an escaped Earth specimen broadcast classified information. Elder Su's scales darkened. Is this true, researcher Ta? Ta looked directly at the screen. Yes, I helped expose the truth. The Council destroyed Earth based on a prediction, not a threat. Billions died because of what they might someday become, and you plan to do it again to other worlds. The bridge grew quiet. Some of the other Nivik officers looked uncomfortable. The Council acts to protect galactic stability, Elder Su said. Difficult decisions must sometimes be made. Murder is not protection, Tay replied. It's fear, and now everyone knows what that fear drove us to do. While they argued, Jun saw his chance. One area of the bridge was momentarily empty. He pushed the vent cover open and dropped silently to the floor below. What will happen now? One young officer asked Elder Su. The allied species are angry. Damage control, Elder Su said coldly. We explain our actions as necessary for security. We. Look, a guard shouted, pointing at Jun. The Earth animal. All eyes turned to Jun. He ran across the bridge, jumping onto the main console before anyone could catch him. Stop it, Jin shouted. Jun's paw pressed a specific sequence of buttons, exactly as Dr. Han's memories showed him. The ship's computer spoke. Emergency Protocol 7 Alpha activated. Command transfer initiated. Jin lunged for Jun, but Todd broke free and blocked him. Leave him alone. The screens around the bridge changed. A message appeared. External control established. All weapons systems locked. Elder Su's face showed shock. What's happening? The cat, Jin said in disbelief. It's accessing command functions. Impossible. Jun pressed more buttons. The translator device he had carried spoke in a mechanical voice. This ship is now under the protection of Earth's final ambassador. New messages flashed on the screens. Ships from allied species were approaching. They had received the broadcast and come to investigate. You've lost, Ta told Jin and Elder Su. The truth is known. Your planned attacks on other worlds will not happen. Jin moved toward Jun again, weapon raised. I'll end this now. Jun didn't run. Instead, he pressed one final button. The lights on the bridge turned red. A force field appeared around him and Tai, protecting them. Ship's core protocols recognized this being as sentient. The computer said, Protected status granted under Galactic Charter, Section 12. Last of Species Clause. Elder Su's face showed defeat. Stand down, Jin. The allies are here. We must explain ourselves. Hours later, ships from 5 allied species surrounded the Nivik vessel. Representatives came aboard to see Jun for themselves. The cat who carried human knowledge and exposed a genocide. What happens now? Tai asked a tall, blue-skinned ambassador. The council must answer for Earth's destruction, the ambassador said. And this being, she looked at June with wonder, will receive our protection as the last carrier of human culture. June sat calmly as the aliens discussed the future. In his mind, Dr. Han's voice seemed to whisper, "Asterisk, you did it. You saved others from our fate." Asterisk. 6 months later, June and Tai stood in a new place, a space station built at the edge of what once was Earth's solar system. It had become a sanctuary for endangered species from across the galaxy. Tai, now June's official guardian, watched as the cat looked out at the stars. "What are you thinking about?" Tai asked. June pressed his translator. Home, past, future. He was no longer just a pet. He was the last human's final gift to the universe, a protector carrying the memory of Earth and the determination to ensure no other world would share its fate. In the vast darkness of space, a small cat carried humanity's legacy forward, and it was enough.